There is no wrong time of day to eat an omelet, and there is no better pairing to a meaty and cheesy omelet than some home fries. Using a microwave head start, we'll show you how to make the fastest home fries this side of your local diner. Now, normally I show you a lot of the prep work here, but this is all pretty standard stuff we've done before, so I'm just going to show you what we're working with. I've got about 2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes that I chunked up into about 1-inch cubes. Go a little smaller or a little larger, but you want to keep them consistent. I've got 1 red onion that I put a nice fine dice on, and 1 bell pepper, actually 2, to make that 2 bell peppers, color of your choice. Diced them up the same size as the onions, and I've got about 8 ounces of nice ham steak. Oh, lost a bit. So 7.5 ounces of ham steak that I cubed up into bite-sized pieces. I tossed those potatoes in the microwave. No extra ingredients, just the potatoes in the microwave for about 7 to 8 minutes to give them a nice head start on cooking. There's enough moisture and water in the potatoes that they'll steam themselves in the microwave. After that, I'm adding them to a medium hot, actually this one was way too hot, cast iron skillet with a couple of tablespoons of butter in there. Now, color is flavor. You could say I may have gone a little too far on that first side, so do be careful about that, but they still came out just wonderful. I went ahead and stirred them, get them back into a single layer, give them a few more minutes to cook. You may have noticed I put a lid on. That steam just helps the potatoes to cook a little faster. Depending on the size that you cut yours, it's going to take about 12 to 15 minutes to get these nice and soft and golden brown. I seasoned mine up with a little bit of Cajun seasoning, but you could keep it simple with salt and pepper. And then right at the very end, when the potatoes are soft, I'm going to sprinkle in about half of our onion. Just stir that around so it starts to soften and go a little translucent. And then you can set your home fries aside. They'll stay nice and warm in that cast iron skillet as we turn our attention to our omelet. For this, we'll grab a medium non-stick skillet and add in another tablespoon or 2 of butter over medium heat. And we need to go ahead and get this ham, peppers, and onions cooking a little bit so they're not raw once we go to make our omelet. So I'm just going to sweat these out for about 4 to 5 minutes until the ham is warmed through and the veggies are starting to soften. Now we're doing this all in the same skillet. No need to cook them and set them aside and then wipe the skillet out and start again. Just season up those ingredients with some fresh cracked pepper and salt, and then pour in 3 beaten eggs. You may need 2 or 4 depending on the size of your skillet and your appetite, of course. And then just let those eggs set on the bottom and the side, and as they do, go ahead and pull that omelet away from the edge of the pan, kind of tilt it so that the raw eggs kind of run into the gap there. And again, just be patient here. It's going to take you about 4 to 5 minutes until that egg is pretty well set. We'll of course season our eggs with salt and pepper because they need a lot of seasoning. And then once the edges and bottom are pretty well set and the top has just got a little bit of that runny egg left, I'm going to add in a couple ounces of shredded cheddar cheese or Monterey Jack, whatever you like, and then very carefully try and give this a flip. Alright, so it broke on me, but you know what? This is not going on the cover of Better Homes and Gardens, so I'll give myself a pass. At this point, we need to cook it through in the middle, so we're going to turn our heat down to low and just pop a lid on for 2 to 3 minutes or until the omelet is just set through in the middle and that cheese has started to melt on us. Man, that is an omelet fit for a king. A nice, big, dinner-size omelet, if I do say so myself, packed with meaty fillings and wonderful peppers and onions. I'm going to plate up some of those home fries. Of course, we got to sprinkle on a few green onions for the thumbnail and that little pop of color. Now, I like a little hot sauce. You could use salsa or sour cream, whatever you like with an omelet. I'm going with sriracha today, but that is, of course, up to you. You are the boss of your hot sauce. I mean, these home fries are so good, and instead of having to cook them in an oven for like an hour or having to wait for 25 or 30 minutes for them to cook through in the pan, that microwave head start is a great trick. Look at that cheese pull. This omelet is perfectly cooked through. Those peppers still have a little bite to them, but they're not mushy or raw. They're just perfect right in between. You could rinse and repeat and make as many omelets as you'd like. As written, this recipe will make 4 omelets with 3 eggs each. I hope you'll give this a try. It's time to destigmatize having omelets for dinner, or I guess you could just make this for breakfast. But whatever you do, make something delicious.